Dude, I went to a Yu-Gi-Oh local tournament last night, and I think I encountered the most emotionally unstable man of my life. I beat him. It was literally the only time I won that night, because everyone pulled up with meta decks, and I got fucking curb stomped. But this one dude, he was also playing a meta deck, and my whole deck is like, if I go first, it's like almost a borderline guaranteed win. So like I can't get too mad when I lose, because if I lose dice roll, then I'm just not playing the deck meant for a gamble. And he naturally decided to go first. He set up like a crazy game state board where he had a bunch of just like boss monsters that were hard to swing over. But the thing is, most of the time when you go first, your whole goal is to either set up your end game or to set up things that allow you to do what's called negating, because that will allow you to just functionally prevent your opponent from being able to play the game. Like let's say if someone has an omni negate, meaning it can negate all card types, motherfuck. That means then if he has one of those and then it's my turn, I have literally nothing on my board. Even the very first thing I attempt to do, other than like a normal summon or set, he can just be like, no, you don't actually. And if that goes through, and I have nothing else to follow that up with, I'm fucked. Then I just lose the game. However, though, his final board had almost zero negates at all on field. So I could functionally just hope I could, unless he had what's called a hand trap, which is just another like fuck you die card, I would just be able to go. Like I would be able to set up my whole board and then pass to him, because my board, the type of Yu-Gi-Oh deck I run, it's super dependent. Nope. It's super dependent on my opponent also playing the game. Like there's some ways that I could do things to where whoa, that was perfect. To where like I could be a little bit more aggressive, and there's definitely been times where I've had to do that. But for the most part, the way my board works is that I put all my cards face down, or my monsters face down, and then when my opponent does things, like depending on the specific action, that allows me to flip my monsters, which they do effects upon flipping, and some have lingering effects. But then I also have 2 cards in my spell and trap zone that whenever I flip a monster, they gain a counter. So that's 2 counters per 1 flip. And then at the end phase, meaning right before the turn's about to pass to the other player, every single time, as long as I have my field spell out, every single time then, it's remove those counters and then deal 900 damage to your opponent for each counter removed. So if I manage to do a sequence where I can flip 5 monsters in the same turn, I win. Like unless they destroy the cards with counters, or the field spell, or just kill me in that turn, I win. But so naturally, there's a lot of disdain for this type of deck, because like it's technically a control deck / floodgatey. And for those that don't know what floodgatey means, it's like it pretty much like as long as I get my field established, it has a lot of options to prevent you from doing stuff. A lot of times it's either like a floodgate, it can be signified by either I'm spawning a shitload of stuff on my field, or I'm spawning a shitload of stuff on your field, because then you can't put stuff down. Like there's a limited, unlike Magic, there's limited monster zones in Yu-Gi-Oh! And so if those are taken up by shit, you just functionally can't play the game. And so that's another form of floodgate. But mine is I stack my board with interruptions and shit that just responds to how you play and shuts it down bit by bit. So people get pissed by that, like, which is fine. Like I can understand that. But so I'm playing this one guy. He's like, I want to say either late 20s to be generous, or more likely early to mid 30s. Like we're starting off normal. It's the second game of the tournament. He doesn't know what I'm playing. I don't know what he's playing, which is pretty normal. And so we're chatting. We're having like a nice little back and forth, because I always try to be like positive. I like, especially these tournaments, like me having fun and like maybe popping a combo off. That's my main priority. Not winning, because like I'm not even playing a meta deck, so it's like I know I probably won't win the whole thing, but still having fun is like the goal, obviously. And so we start talking, jibber jabbering, Jesus Christ, and doing some back and forth, and eventually I lose dice roll. So he still doesn't see what cards I'm playing for a bit, he does this whole combo and then has a board state like 3 boss monsters and 2 trap cards, or 2 trap and spell cards. I don't know what they are yet. And so I'm just like, okay, cool. Like any like on-field effects that will like target me, because like it's my turn now before I start. And he's like, nope, you can go off. I was like, okay, cool, sick. And so immediately I played this one card where like the whole thing is that it sets my field spell, and then it has other effects while it's in the grave. But the beautiful thing, it sets my field spell. So it's pretty much the field spell itself, and it can't be stopped by very common hand traps, which is like,
real quick guys, thank you so much for watching so far in this video. If you're liking it so far, please be sure to smash the like button, hit subscription if you haven't yet, put the bells on even if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. I go live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at 12 p.m. EST for about anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe 5 hours depending on my schedule. As well as aiming for weekly to multiple videos a week uploads on the YouTube and short form as well. Please, oh please, oh please, check me out on Twitch if you have ever the time, and enjoy the rest of the video.
with Yu-Gi-Oh, the wording's super specific. If the exact thing that's on the card does not happen, then you cannot activate the card itself. And so often a lot of hand traps or things that like are to prevent you from getting cards from deck to hand say just that. If they're adding from the deck to the hand, this just immediately sets the card down onto the field and activates it. So it gets around that, which is super nice. But because I put the field spell down, yeah, I'd seen that kind of like magic. Yeah. It like, I'll always say Yu-Gi-Oh is the world's most complicated middle school card game. Like I think Magic has an extra layer of complexity just because you can summon and set as many cards as you want. Like you can, like, part of the game is like continuously churning and developing resource production, shit like that. With Yu-Gi-Oh, the only resources are the cards. Like there are summoning expectations and limitations, but the only resource that you have to work with is cards. That's it. But because I played that card, he immediately knew what deck I was playing. It's called Endcraft because all of the cards have Endcraft in the name. And so immediately, this whole like happy-go-lucky attitude that we were having towards each other and having a fun time, I thought, immediately turns to like, oh, you piece of shit. And it's like I like definitely get comments like that every now and then, and it's like normally though it's like with a very obvious like inflection that we're joking still. He was dead serious. He was dead serious. I was chuckling because I thought he was fucking joking. He turned into one of those guys. Yeah, genuinely. Again, grown-ass man. I hate saying grown-ass man, by the way, when it comes to especially fun hobbies like Yu-Gi-Oh, but playing the Yu-Gi-Oh isn't the problem. It's you acting like a child when things don't go your way immediately. That's grown-ass man, by the way. I'm chuckling because I thought he was joking. He's like, no, really? Like, why the fuck would you play this? I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, dude, this deck is ass, and it's cancer to play against. And I'm just sitting there like, well, I find it fun. I haven't played in a while. This is my first deck since coming back. And it's like, it does flips. Like, the whole thing is like, it does flip summons. And he's like, dude, I don't care, man. Like, you're just a bad player. I can tell off rip. And I'm like, okay, buddy, sure. Like I mean, we'll see how this plays out. But would you take that back if I won? And he's like, yeah, good luck, man. And I was like, okay, cool. So this is deflecting much? A little bit? Have you ever seen? I believe I have seen Wizard in T-shirt. Well, so he hasn't lost yet. He hasn't lost yet. Because this is game 1. And so he has his whole like field set up and shit like that. I mean, he is playing a meta deck, is he not? Yeah, he's playing a meta deck. But for some reason, this meta deck either doesn't contain negates and is just pure boss monster swing, or it does and he misplayed and he's trying to bluff. And so I get the combo off because the whole thing is that like my deck, it burns myself, but then eventually I burn him too because I can put monsters in the back zone, use 900 life points to search more monsters, which then allows me to get my boss monster for free and shit like that. Saint, what's up? I appreciate the lurk. And so pretty much like as long as I get 2 searchers and 1 other thing, I pretty much can put an end board immediately. And so I do just that. He cannot negate it. And because I saw the type of deck he was playing this one deck called Draco Tail, which a lot of it has stuff that involves the graveyard, as well as putting hand to deck, or deck to hand, sorry. And there, I have a couple small guys that deal with just that. They trigger upon anything when an effect is done while in the graveyard, or if an effect is done that results in you adding a card from the deck to your hand. And so I had Endcraft Green, Endcraft Yellow. Those are the two yellow guys I just referred to. And then 3 boss monsters. One is called the Pixia. Their whole thing is that once they get flipped, my opponent can't target either field or either graveyard. So that would completely nullify him being able to target his cards to do effects. That completely stops that, as well as it prevents him from targeting me. So if he has cards where it's like, hey, target a card and destroy it. No, we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Target a card and destroy it. He can't do that anymore. And I have another one that's called Whale, where the whole thing is the moment he flips up on the board, any of his monsters that are face up on the field gets booked permanently, meaning they have to be face down forever now, which completely prohibits him from using those monsters in most ways that they're designed for. And another one was Endcraft Lion, which is another boss monster, which essentially is when I flip him up, I get to, one, put 3 cards on the field back into his hand, so making him useless for the turn, as well as then his lingering effect is as long as he's alive in the monster zone, he takes 900 damage anytime he adds a card to hand that isn't during draw phase. So he was playing a meta deck not properly set up or played badly, and you are playing a straight deck that just countered him a little bit, pretty much. And so like as I'm like building up my whole board, he's just chirping me the entire time of like, dude, like we're just waiting for you to pass, man. Like this is gonna be over and we're gonna go game 2 and then I win. And so like when we talk shit with each other, but we know we're both not being serious about it. This guy was full blown being full frontal about it. And so like I set up my field, and immediately like during my turn, he does a thing that allows me to react with like 2 different cards, and I can just see his like bravado drop. Cause I don't know if he just like didn't know what the cards do, or if he was just like, he knew of Endcraft and its annoyance and knew nothing about it, but he didn't realize what half my shit did until I explained it to him. And then he realized like, oh wait, I might be fucked. Because there's a bunch of stuff that I know that was in his graveyard because he activated an effect in the graveyard, which allowed me to flip my guy that says, hey, if something happens in the graveyard, flip it, giving me a token, giving me 2 counters. And so I flipped it, and it allows me to search a card, and then after whatever his effect does, it allows me to put 3 monster cards in either graveyard back into the deck. And so I do that, and I know there's monsters in his graveyard that have effects that can be triggered that he hasn't yet, and so I get rid of them. I do that immediately, and he's fucking pissed about it. He's like, again, oh, ads, hang on. I've always wanted to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! On MTGM. I know Pokemon TCG pretty well, but I don't know how to play the other two. Dude, I would do a full, honest to God, guys, I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh! I might make a part of my content just be Yu-Gi-Oh! I know that would be probably of no interest to most of you guys, but I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh! So much that I don't mind trying to branch out into that territory. Shit. But like I would literally, if even like 2 people are like, hey, like, can you teach me Yu-Gi-Oh? I will go on Master Duel and do like a crash course. During this minute break, let me say I'm enjoying the story, but all I'm hearing during this Adventure Time episode, I flooped the pig. That's literally what I'm doing. I keep flooping the pig, and he's getting pissed about it. Genuinely, this is just fucking Card Wars all over again. Like he's just getting mad at the game being played. The entire while I'm doing these effects, he's like calling my cards bullshit, says this deck is ass, shit from butt, poop cancer, all this shit. And the entire time I'm like, well, do you got any responses? Like saying like, hey, do you have anything to say to this? Do you take? Yeah, no. When I'm talking about like my experiences with like in tournaments and shit like that, they're all in person. So hard coping, yeah, literally just hard coping the entire time. But so I'm like, hey, do you have any effects? And he goes, well, actually, I do. And because he responded to an effect that I triggered with an effect of his own, it allowed me to flip the line. It allowed me to put all of the cards on the field, all of the rest of the cards he had on the field, back into his hand. And if there's anything called the extra deck monster, meaning like a really big boss monster, they don't go to his hand, they go back to the extra deck. Meaning all of the resources that they wasted trying to get him out, they have to then reconjure to even try to summon them again. And he fucking loses it because I just took away all of his answers. Like he still tried to negate my graveyard thing. That's fine. Okay, you know what? I don't mind the tiny effect not going through. But now I shuffled all of the rest of his monsters on the field back into his hand. And now anytime he adds a card to his hand outside of draw phase, he burns 900. And so that's another flipped card, giving me now 4 counters, which would be 3,600 damage out of 8,000. And so then I do like one last piece of my combo, and this dude like is like, "Are you done yet?" It's like, one, you took 15 minutes to do a whole lot of fucking nothing that I just undid in like 5. So no, let's calm down. But now I'm done. Yeah, okay, not because you said that though. And so then we pass to his turn. This dude, after burning 36, I also have cards in my graveyard that once my cards flip up, I can flip them back down. And so meaning I can re-trigger them again and again. I do that, meaning I have 5 cards primed to flip. I now only need 3 of them to flip in this turn. Now this turn, I only need to flip 3 cards because I already managed to flip 2 on my turn. And again, I don't know if this dude just didn't know what Endcraft did, but he had options to pop my cards. And usually I have a card that's like, it can prevent destruction, but whatchamacallit, I didn't have that card on the field. And so he went to go destroy a card, and it wasn't any of the card he needed to destroy to survive.
Oh yeah.
And so, and him prompting to destroy my, him prompting to destroy my card allowed that card to flip, giving me an extra counter off rip. And it's innate, like not its quick effect flip, the thing that allows me to flip it on his turn, but the thing that just innately happens once it's face front on the field, that triggers too, allowing me to banish one of his cards permanently. And so again, he's fucking pissed off all this shit, but it also got me another flip. So now I'm at 2 flips, or now I'm at 1 flip that turn, and then he proceeds to do his turn that allows me to flip the other 2 cards, and he doesn't do anything to stop it. And so when his turn ends, I go, okay, cool, that's game. And he goes, what? Judge! Immediately calls for the judge. Immediately, it's like, because in Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering, any card game, there are people who, what a sore loser, yes. And this was game 1. We had to finish, like with Yu-Gi-Oh! They have this new thing now that if there is an unresolved game, oh my fucking god, what am I doing? We're just gonna cool off. If there's an unresolved series, it is then both players take a double loss. So even if I go 1-0, even if I win the first game, and then the second game takes up the rest of the allotted time and is unresolved, if either party want to be sore losers and dickheads, they can leave the game unresolved and then just both players take a double loss. And that's a new thing that just started happening around last September. Yes, what's up, Savannah? How's it going? I'm giving a breakdown of how I encountered some fucking crazy person in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yesterday. And so it's a new rule that they just put in. And that rule I despise because it makes sense at regional and national and world tournaments. Yes, I can kind of understand that for like actually big tournaments, but when it's local tournaments that genuinely don't mean anything other than just being able to practice Yu-Gi-Oh! Essentially for bigger tournaments, I think it is a dog shit ruling. I think it just only makes things worse for people because if you're, especially for people who are competitively inclined, like taking a double loss opposed to just one party winning because of some other like abstract rule, it is so it's so unsatisfying. No, like nobody likes it. It pisses everybody off. But people who want to be dickheads and are going to and would eventually lose if time was infinite, objectively, they weaponize that to just be dickheads. And so I dislike it heavily. But so this guy calls a judge after about 20 minutes or so pass, and we have 25 minutes left to finish the second game. So like there is time. I go first especially. But if I'm like setting up a crazy board and this dude realizes he's gonna lose, he can just stall. He can literally just take more time reading his cards or waste fucking time asking me dumbass questions like cards in hand and shit like that when at the level of Yu-Gi-Oh we're playing does not fucking matter, and just wasting time. And so he calls the judge over immediately and he's like, "Judge, he's cheating." Just straight up says that. Just straight up says that I'm trying to finish a unresolved game. And so now all of a sudden people are looking, other people at other tables are fucking looking at me like, what's going on? Like whisper, fucking all that. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Do you know what this card does if you hate it so much? And he goes, no, it's just probably some bullshit that you're misreading. I'm like, read it. I literally hand my card over. I'm like, read the card right now. While the judge comes over so we can save some time here. And he like has this smug ass look on the entire time because I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. But so, oh dude, no, he didn't smell, but his breath's fucking ranked. Like anytime that he would look directly at me and explain a card he does, which I already knew what they do, but he would explain it anyways. Anytime he would directly look at me and talk, I would just get hit with like a delay effect wave of just pure rank. It was fucking awful. And so this fucking guy is reading my card, has this smug ass look, and as I see him get to the bottom, like see his eyes track to the bottom of the card, he then immediately starts stuttering into like, well, no, it didn't activate. I'm like, no, it activates every end turn. It activates every end phase, mandatory. Like it has to go. Like I don't get an option if it activates or not. It does. It just does. It's an innate mandatory effect. And so he's like now just getting all fucking pissy. The judge eventually stumbles over. He's like, what's the problem? And this dude tries to explain the board state of how he's turn player, so he does take priority interactions and shit like that. He's turn player, this and that. And so and then the judge, I see him immediately, like within 20 seconds, know like what the problem is. And he literally goes, have you read the card? Like, did you read his card? And he goes, yes, but it doesn't make sense. And so the judge, he literally is just like, okay, well, listen, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like, what he's saying is the truth. Like, this isn't cheating. You probably shouldn't say that if you don't know what the card does even. Like this goes through, you guys go game 2. And he's like, whatever, okay, fine. And then like he like very angrily shuffles his deck for game 2. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like at this point, I'm just uncomfortable. Like, I don't like this. I don't go to Yu-Gi-Oh to do whatever the fuck that was or that this is. Debut judge doing that quickly. Yeah, dude. He knew. He knew. Like the local tournament this happened at. It's not my main regular one, but it is also but it is also like they run a very tight ship when it comes to judging. And so he's all about like keeping things professional, very quickly done. And so because he lost that game, even though he won first, because he lost that game, he gets to decide if he wants to go first or second. And naturally, he wanted to go first again. I pull the big brain gamble. The moment he decides to go first, after he draws his 5 and plays the first card of the game. Okay, cool, game 3. Meaning I scooped. Meaning that I'm saying, hey, I surrender this game. Let's go to the next game. So we're now, and he got fucking livid at that, but also a little like he kind of like reinvigorated because he thinks that he's gonna stall out now. Because I took the gamble here is that instead of me being 1-0 and time runs out, and I say, hey, like whoever has higher life points wins, which normally wouldn't work for me because my whole thing is I have to burn myself first before I start burning you. And so if I only get to that point after he goes first, waste a bunch of fucking time, and then tries to interrupt me and all that shit, like likely time-wise, it wouldn't have worked out for me. And so I go, hey, I'm going to scoop game 2. Let's go game 3. And he gets pissed off and he's like, and then he stops himself kind of like mid pissoning, and is like, okay, sure. He side decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can bring an alternate stack of cards up to 15, and then you can swap them out with other cards that are already in your deck. And so that is very useful between games, like especially if you were going turn 1 and then turn 2 game 2. You can side deck stuff that would be more helpful or more beneficial, that would be more beneficial to use while going turn 2. No, I did this again! And so like I see him side deck, has shit and grit and all that shit. I go first, I pull a god hand. I literally I don't think I will ever have a better hand of where I had 3 searchers, endcraft reset, which so the thing that lets me set my land, and a boss monster. The boss monster was the one where if you react to my shit, I get to flip it, shuffle cards back into your hand. But then anytime you add to hand outside of draw phase, burn 900. And and the beautiful thing about it is the way I get to summon my monsters, I just have to show you a card. I just have to show you that I have an endcraft monster, and then I get to set any endcraft monster in my hand. And so I essentially get to set all my boss monsters for free, no matter when, no matter what. And so we do that, right? I put the lion down, and then I have my 3 searchers. I get to search a bunch of shit, and I have the perfect end board of like two of the same little guys that fucked him over last time, and then the same 3 boss monsters. And he triggered the lion at one point, trying to respond to shit. So I got to flip him, couldn't shuffle any cards back because I won first. But I got a flip off, meaning I only need to flip 4 cards next turn to win. I then passed the turn to him. I also pulled a trap card because I had this one other card that's like I can send some of the searchers I no longer need back into my deck and draw that many cards. I pulled a trap card called Gravedigger's Trap Hole, where essentially if he uses a monster effect out like from his hand or the graveyard, I can flip that card, burn him for 2,000 health, and negate that card. The 2,000 health is the main thing that I was focusing on, because that means I would have to flip less cards in a turn in order to kill him. And again, he didn't know what the fuck I was doing. He didn't know what deck I was trying to run here. And so he does an in-hand monster effect. I flip that card. He's now, because I flipped a monster last turn, so I burned it from 1,800, and then I did that. He's now down 3,800 total, meaning I'd only have to flip my guys 3 times. 3 times I'd only have to flip them, because that did a full flip for me, and plus some change. So now I only have to flip my 4 face down cards, only 3 of them, and I have ways to trigger. I have ways to re-flip some of the face-up ones already, like some of the smaller guys that have like way more generic flip requirements and shit like that. Son of a bitch. Let's see here. Where do we go? Yeah, let's just do this. And so we go through that. I refuse to learn that part. I'd rather get the skip down and then go from there. And so pass to his turn. He triggers the trap, and then all of a sudden he realizes he's in a bit of a more fucked spot than he initially thought. Because again, he also burns life anytime he adds to hand outside of the first draw phase. And so I am pretty much, this is where the floodgate comes in. He cannot do shit. A lot of decks, meta decks especially, involve adding from deck to hand. Like needing you to add to your hand to increase your combo potential. And so he like is now like on a really weird restraint of life, flipping my cards, activating, because he also doesn't know what cards are face down. So he doesn't know how he's going to activate his shit. And oh no, I don't need no more. And so he's doing all of that. He manages to non-target destroy some of my cards. Sucks, but whatever, happens. And so, but he hasn't destroyed my whale. And he's also flipped my cards 2 times so far this turn. And he's about to go into battle phase. But right before he went into battle phase, he special summoned a monster that has no negates, but is just big. Big attack, not big defense. And so here's the thing. I have this other card. The card that allowed me to send cards to deck and draw that many. When it's in its graveyard, it has another effect. If my opponent normal or special summon, I can banish that card, meaning I can't touch it again unless I have another card that says otherwise. Banish that card, and then flip 1 monster on the field face up. You know what I flipped? I flipped the whale. Want to know why I flipped the whale? 1, it got me to my 3 flip requirement to win the game. And 2, before he could go to battle phase, the whale's flip effect, all monsters on my opponent's side must flip face down defense permanently. I flipped the pig. I flipped the pig. I flooped the pig, dude. I put them all face down permanently. He can no longer attack. And he had to pat, and this was the, oh my God, I fucked up again. And with 2 minutes left, he realized he couldn't stall that long. He couldn't waste enough time to get to fucking pass up without me being like, hey, you're stalling. And then I call a judge, and then judge realizes what's happening. And so he reluctantly, I think he was gritting his teeth this whole time this went down. He was gritting his teeth. Dude, that, exactly, Savannah! Like, why do I feel like I'm in a Liam Neeson, like, Taken 4, like, type of shit over, like, I know you have them. I'm gonna fucking win them back. What the fuck is going on? I just wanna play Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. And so, fucking, he reluctantly succeeds. I win the whole thing, or that round, not the whole thing. And so, but then listen, this one was a little bit aggressive. Not actually aggressive, but I knew this was a bit of a cheeky move. I go, hey, good game, man, that was fun. And I go for a handshake. And at this point, because the time's almost up, most games are done, and they're watching us play because they already heard the fucking cheating shit. I go, hey, man, that was fun. Sucks that my deck wasn't nearly as bad that you thought it was. And I stuck on my hand for a handshake. And I saw him look at my hand, look at the people around us, and the most like, poof, like shit, like right before an amount of force where people could be like, okay, come on, dude. Like, fucking stuffed his hand into mine for a handshake is like, yeah, whatever. And then he wouldn't shut the fuck up about it for the rest of the night. It was wild. I don't get it. No one will want to play with them. Unfortunately, like, you don't have a choice for local tournaments. Like, it's a random setup. And so trying to assert the Andrew Tate energy, dude. I don't even know. I don't even know. That dude was just a specimen. Genuinely. And then he won 0-3 for the night. I literally won 1-2. That was the only game I won. The other stuff, I got fucking waxed hard. But it was also like against one of my buddies and another dude that I never played before, but he was chill. Like, it was fun. One of them is like a very new deck that's like gonna be super meta, I think. Because it's getting some support as well. But so, like, I had fun overall. And that was just like a funny interaction. But like, maybe it's because this dude, I know there's no excuse. Like, that was just a fucking insane way to behave at a fucking public gathering. There's literally just no way to fucking excuse it. Was he just as bad to other players? Did you hear him having other scuffles? No. So the way Yu-Gi-Oh works too is that like the table you're set at is also like it reflects your winning. So immediately, because I went 1-0 and he went 0-1, we were at opposite sides of the room then for like most of the night. Because he kept losing, I at least, because he would then go 0-2, I went 1-1, so I would still be at the middle of the tables and he'd be at the end. Especially when you're above the age of 18 or 19. Like, yeah, like again, like I am always very hesitant to like use the insult grown ass man, by the way, or other things like that. Like when an adult man is content with himself enough to just be whimsical or passionate about hobbies and other things in life. I think that's just, it's a fucking stupid thing to put people down with. But when you are a grown man, not emotionally regulated, that I think is actually the perfect time to use that phrase. Because like, how are you as a grown-ass man not emotionally regulated to that level to where a card game is getting you pissed off beyond reasoning? That to me is like wild. We can assume he still did. Yeah, no, I mean, no. So what most likely happened is that he himself wasn't confrontational with other games. But I know this for a fact because I overheard at one point, he wouldn't stop bitching and complaining about it for the rest of the night. Like he would like full blown call me a cheater to other people, like within earshot. I'm not saying anything because I just quite frankly couldn't be fucked with, or not couldn't. Dude, don't fuck with me. No, I just couldn't be fucking bothered to do anything just because like he lost really badly, pretty funnily too. This is the type of guy to say you can't play that guy in Smash. He's off meta and bad, and it's my main dude. Yeah, you were living his head, dude. Genuinely. Like I know for a fact like almost the whole night he was talking about it because that's how Yu-Gi-Oh, that's how like especially seasoned Yu-Gi-Oh players roll, is that they've been through so many metas and shit like that like the Yu-Gi-Oh current meta right now isn't a bit of a fuck spot, but like especially like I'm saying season with air quotes, but you can't see it. It's under the table. Like seasoned players, like when they encounter something they deem as a problem with the current meta, they will just not shut the fuck up about it the entire night. Like I had a similar thing where literally I beat this dude 2 games in a row within 5 minutes. I won the round within 5 minutes because the first game he went first. I hand trapped him and then was able to build up my board just a little bit. And he immediately scooped. And then the second game he went first and again hand trapped him and set up my board a little bit and he immediately scooped once again. And he's like, well, guess I'm not playing today. And I'm like, what? Are you going home? And he's like, no, I don't get to play the game at all against this deck, apparently. And he's like, don't have time, man. Like, top deck hand traps. It's unfortunate. And he's like, yeah, it's what's wrong with this fucking game. I'm like, okay, well, anyways, again, go for a handshake. He fucking shoved. I don't know what it is with people who get pissed off shoving hands into hands. Like, you could just, like, you could powderly just deny the handshake. I won't be too upset, I promise. But then what was really funny is that guy then also for round 2 played the exact same deck and then dropped out for the rest of the tournament. Tells you a lot about his character. I mean, yeah. Hey, you know what, Savannah? What an adult outtake on that. Yeah, I agree with that. Doing a story time put me in flow state last night or yesterday. I don't think it's giving me the same treatment now all of a sudden. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God, dude. Collarbone is in pieces. Fragments just turned back into the dust where it originated from the stars. This isn't trauma dumping is the difference. This is just regular story time. Dude, says you, man. I'm fucking mortified from that situation. I can't even look at my Yu-Gi-Oh decks without having a panic attack now. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. But no. So, like, my least favorite person, especially in the card game space, but kind of a general low-key, are the shoulda, woulda, could'ves. Like, genuinely, like, oh, if only this happened. If only a completely different thing happened at the start, then we would have had a completely different outcome. Yeah, no fucking shit, dude. Of fucking course, if you drew the 3 cards you needed opposed to a brick, you would have done a completely different thing. That's the fucking game. This game is a roguelike. Card games are a roguelike. You just get to stack it from the fucking start. That is it. Sometimes you get lucky on your run. Sometimes you get face fucked on a Friday, 2 times over on a Sunday. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, I genuinely, like, obviously, like, when I say words like despise or hate, it's the aspect. I don't hate people. It's like, it's hard for me to actually hate a person personally. But like, in terms of you and the character you're displaying right now, it is just fucking pissy behavior, and I dislike that heavily. Like, but like, for me, if it's like the constructive thing of like, oh, I think I could have maybe played this, and that would have been a little bit more better to structure things like that. That's constructive. That's good. If it's literally just, oh, I wish I just drew 3 hand traps to stop you. Yeah, so does every fucking buddy else going turn 2 in this game. You're not like, I don't know. Maybe that's more of a gripey thing, but like to me, that's just like it is so just unproductive. But no, anyways, I am going to a Yu-Gi-Oh local tonight though. Listen, I don't discriminate against people. Though I hate everyone. Instead of the all lives matter counterpart, you're the no lives matter. Burn them all. Is that what I'm picking up? I think most of us were like as kids. Some people take a minute longer to mature. Dude, a minute. This dude again, minimum late 20s, and that's being generous. My kind of mentality right there. Yeah, dude, for me, like, I don't know why. I have like that billions must be kind type of mentality. Billions must love. Like I have a profound joy and positive outlook towards people, but I also at the exact same time know that this world is a dark place with a lot of evil people that I'm constantly on